As you probably know by now, I went to my very first convention experience in Toronto with my dad and a boy he was taking care of about a year ago. At the time, it was a Fan Expo that took place in the Metro Toronto Convention Center, and during August, if I remember correctly. However, this time I went to my very first Comic-Con and even got a t-shirt thanks to my dad pre-ordering it in advance. Now, let me explain to you what my experience there was like. Because I had gone to the Metro Convention Center a year ago, I understood most of the area by now, though there were some new ones that I had never seen, such as finding a Second Cup cafe in the basement and visiting some of the mini rooms that had games ranging from Dungeons and Dragons to Lego and puzzles. I also came across a lot of Hazbin Hotel cosplayers, which I'm going to assume was the theme of that season or something. Speaking of cosplayers, I came across one lady who was wearing an Elise Liedel cosplay with the red dress, red shoes, white apron, and green gemstone. For those of you who don't know, Elise is a video game character who came from the game Little Goody Two Shoes, where it's about her wishing to become rich and live in the lap of luxury, but having to choose between sacrificing her dreams or the love of her life in order to get what she wants, amongst other supernatural decisions. Needless to say, she was quite pleased when I accurately guessed her costume, as she apparently put in a lot of effort to make it as accurate as possible. While it was pretty good, the only thing missing was Elise's red bow that she wears on her head. Another cosplayer I came across was someone who dressed up as Master Plo Koon from Star Wars, which I complimented on their costume since it was pretty accurate, considering that Plo Koon is one of the few Jedi characters I like from that franchise. It was a surprise, and a welcome one, if you will. While I wasn't able to meet up with the line of celebrities at the booths due to the process involving payment, there was one celebrity I happened to come across, and it was Vic Mignogna of all people. Now, I know about his controversial reputation in the past, but I personally wanted to meet at least one celebrity, and there were some fans waiting in line to meet him, so I figured why not give him a chat. As for what we talked about, I told him about how I liked Full Metal Alchemist since it was technically the first anime I heard that involved him, to which he was quite touched to hear. After that, I got some food like pizza, poutine, a hot dog, and ginger ale before going back to visit the other booths that were mostly made up of artists and collectors, as well as some comic book illustrators plus video game people. Like with Fan Expo, it was quite crowded, and I had to take a seat here and there due to how hot it was inside the building, which is ironic because it was raining outside and a lot colder due to it being March at the time. One major thing I remember doing is participating in this event, which was promoting the movie Hail Mary, along with the audio adaptation that was being sponsored by Amazon. It took place in this large round box that looked like a giant Alexa, now that I think about it, and inside were images of the galaxy, with me and a couple of people having to sit down in these small chairs so we could feel immersed in the background and sounds due to how loud and dramatic it was. It kind of reminded me of those 4D movie theaters, but without the movie and focusing mainly on the sounds. I even got a neat keychain for my bag, which I still have on me, along with the day pass that also had the movie version of the story printed on it. A few more things I did was walk by the promotion background for the upcoming Daredevil Born Again series, and a paleontologist booth that sold jewelry and displayed dinosaur bone fragments because the boy that my dad was watching over is a fan of dinosaurs. Overall, those were the main events that happened to me at Comic-Con, and while I did have fun, it proved to be kinda overwhelming, much like Fan Expo was. Probably because it took place in one specific section of the building, which is the North Building whereas Fan Expo had the South Building open as well. Either way, it was a lot more cramped despite having fewer people, at least in my opinion. Even so, I liked it and probably wouldn't mind visiting again if possible.